am me. I am myself. I am constantly evolving into a better version of myself, and for that I am grateful. I'm grateful for the spiritual awakenings that I have, the realizations that I have. I am grateful that I am able to combine those worlds to assist me in living in the here and now and in the future. With that being said, because people do not want to take accountability for themselves in any way, be it action, be it what they said, be in their behaviors. They constantly look for the easy way out, which is to blame outside of themselves. And this applies to a lot of situations because it's always easier to look and blame someone else. It's hard doing the work on yourself, not just doing the work, it's hard realizing that you fucked up. It's hard realizing that you made a mistake, even though it's human to make a mistake. It's hard to admit, even to yourself, that what you did or what you said was wrong or foul or disrespectful or affected someone. But the reality is, in doing those things, you promote growth. I've moved into a space in this healing where it's so many things that I don't give a fuck about. Like, it's some shit that you definitely still gotta get. Like, you can't just not give a fuck about nothing. There's things that I absolutely give a fuck about, so I learned how to maneuver between the two simultaneously. Some shit I give a fuck about, some shit I don't. One of the things I don't give a fuck about regarding the breakup and the separation, I don't give a fuck about clearing my name at this point because the motherfucker tried to destroy my character amongst people outside of us, but people who knew us or knew of us. The motherfucker was disrespectful, telling lies, manipulating me and other people around him into believing his fucking side of the story. But I'm at this point in the breakup where, as far as the breakup go, I'm so good on that. I'm so good on that. It catapulted me into other levels of healing because I needed to really, like, I thought and I really felt that I knew my value before the breakup even happened. But the breakup pushed me into another level of healing, another phase of healing. I learned even more about myself. And when I learned more about myself, my fucking value went up. Like, do you feel what I'm saying? I need you to open up your heart and hear what I'm saying to you. So I'm at the point right now where, as far as this breakup concerned, I don't even give a fuck about closure. Like, he can't give me that. I don't give a fuck about other people's perception of me. I don't give a fuck about trying to clear my name and trying to fix what he tried to fuck up, or trying to clear my name, or trying to get people to understand my side of the story. I don't give a fuck about none of that no more. I don't give a fuck about it. In the very beginning, I felt differently. I did a lot of videos. I was navigating through the hurt, pain, confusion, disappointment. I was trying to understand some shit that my heart couldn't fathom. You know what I'm saying? My mind couldn't conceive it. I couldn't get into the state at all of understanding what happened, you know? Now I'm at the point where I don't even give a fuck about what happened. All I know is that the end result of the breakup made me an even more better person. You wanna know why it made me a better person? I could share that with you because it lets me know that so many things, so many lessons I learned. No matter how good you are to people, it doesn't mean that they're gonna be good to you. You cannot base your worth on the outcome of any situation. You can't base your worth on anyone outside of yourself. Only you and the creator. Y'all get together, the universe, God, y'all get together, finagle some shit, and figure out what it's going to take to make you be the highest version of yourself. You go with that. I've learned that it's no matter what the fuck you do to try to please a man. If it ain't you, it ain't fucking you. You can't base your relationships, nor should any of your relationships be one-sided. You should not be the one constantly pouring and no one is pouring back into you. And I go for any relationships, whether it's relationships with your children, whether it's relationships with a significant other, whether the relationships is in your sisterhood. If the energy that you're putting out isn't being reciprocated, then it is time to reevaluate that situation and make some significant changes. Because anyone who have a sincere interest in your well-being, like you have for them, is going to reciprocate that motherfucking energy. Yes, we get caught up in living. Absolutely. I'm not taking that away from anything. I'm not saying that people are going to love the exact way you love. What I am saying is that people make time for what they want to make time for. A lot of people know what they have to do, but instead they do what they want to do. And what you want to do, your actions from me, is what tells me the truth, not what you say. People say a lot of shit a lot of time. I know y'all came to that conclusion already. People will tell you some shit and it'll sound real good, but their actions will contradict what they're saying. And you need to understand that actions, not only do they speak louder than words, actions are the actual truth behind a person. Actions are the actual truth behind a person. Let me give you an example. How many people are fucking killed by someone who told them that they love them? Be it a husband, even a fucking best friend. Growing up in the situations that we grew up in. How many people we know got killed by people that they know? Actions are the truth behind who someone really is. Alright? Don't ever get that fucked up. Feel free to not just watch my videos, but I try to share only the lessons that I learned, because maybe, just maybe, if we can kind of learn from each other and start the conversation and have conversations with each other, maybe we can kind of navigate our way back to having and sustaining healthy relationships. You know what I'm saying? I had, mad examples. I had, a homegirl that we're no longer friends, right? And I don't hate her. I don't dislike her. I just realized that my energy wasn't being reciprocated and I had to fall back. No matter what, good, bad, or indifferent, no matter what the situation was, when she called me about it, and we used to speak often. So I'm not going to say when she called me about it to try to make it seem like we didn't really speak that much. It's not that. We spoke every fucking day. But whenever a situation arrived in her life and she informed me about it, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, always gave support. I always gave a support. That's just who I am as a person. This breakup was one of the toughest times of my life. Real shit. It was very, very tough for me. I honestly think it was tough, maybe because I'm older now. You know, when you're younger, you tend to move a little more fragrantly, and things, although they do bother you, I just feel like my youth and who I was as a youth, a younger person, I wouldn't let things get me down too long. I knew how to maneuver through that pain. As I got older, though, breakups kind of hit me different. Maybe it was the amount of time that I put into this person along with the resources, but this breakup was very difficult for me. And not at no time did I get even so much as a text or a phone call or anything. In the beginning, when I took notice of it, because, you tend to look at you tend to reevaluate most of your relationships, especially when you're going through a breakup, because you try to reposition yourself, or see, at least you look at things in retrospect, you reevaluate, you reanalyze, because you just know that you don't ever want to be this hurt again behind someone else. So you not try, but you go back in retrospect and you reevaluate and reanalyze all of your situations that you've been in, friendships, relationships, and you ask yourself, what is it that I could do differently? What is it that I would do differently? Because I don't want to be this disappointed from an outsider, and when I say that, I mean the outside of yourself, right? And so when I'm reevaluating my situation with old boy, you know, I was like, damn, I haven't even like heard from this person, and I know that she is aware of what's going on, and I know that, you know, regardless, because I just had the impression that we were so close that even if there were people that I wasn't speaking to at the time, even if there were um, a time when I needed to be alone, that there's certain people that no matter what, you have this bond with them that they like, all right, I'm respect you and I'm gonna give you your time and I'm gonna give you your space, but are you okay? Or do you need to talk? Or just know that I'm around. I got no text, I got no form of communication, I got, none of that. And when I realized that, I got angry about that. But over time, you begin to get an understanding of who people really are, how they operate, why they move the way they do. And those feelings of anger started to subside. And I came to the conclusion that I am not any longer upset with this person. I had my time for that. And I just had to realize that, you know, the friendship, I guess it was supposed to come to an end. I don't know if it took that certain circumstance for it to come to an end, but it was time for the friendship to come to an end. So this is someone I know now. It's an associate. If I see them right now, I don't have any hard feelings towards them. It just is what it is. I am not going to keep putting all my good ass energy, all my good ass vibes, all my good ass love, loyalty, honor, respect, because I hold people to a high esteem, not because I have expectations, but because I hold myself to a high esteem, because I know me, because I'm a queen, because I am royalty, and that's straight jacket. I'm not telling you this trying to convince you. No, no, no. I'm giving you a description of the type of person that I am. And so when I look at people that I allow in my personal space, it's because I hold them to a certain esteem also. You're also a queen. You're also love. You're also, and it doesn't mean that now she's no longer that person. She's just not no longer that person for me. And I mean, even as a friend. Because, I'm considered, a lot of times, I'm considered the strong friend. But what people need to understand is that I don't give a fuck how strong people are in your eyes. Everyone needs someone at some point, at some time. I don't give a fuck how strong I may look in your eyes. Know that I need a friend sometimes too, or I need someone to talk to too. Or I don't necessarily want to be strong all the fucking time. I want to be able to take my cape off and just be. But my strength comes from situations like this: multiple breakups, a friendship broken up, a fucking relationship broken up. That's where a lot of my strength comes from, because I also refuse to stay down. I may be down for a little while. I'm human. I'll be down for a little while, but I don't stay down. I'm a fighter. I have to fight for me because no one else is going to do it. And people have proven that time and time again. I'm not upset that they don't prove it. I just know who I am. I know my value. I understand my worth while I'm here on this earth. And so I fight for me. That friendship is now deceased. I had another so called friend, right? And this particular friend, look, I got to spill the tea, right? This particular friend, um, really wasn't a friend. And let me just give you a little backtrack of history on that. Every single time we would get together, my intuition would go off about this in particular person. But this person was an associate that I knew for a very long time. And I said to myself, I know she be on some bullshit, but she never been on that type of bullshit with me. So I'm not going to judge her on the bullshit that I know about her. I'm not even judging her on her track record, because she ain't been like that with me. So I'm talking about over decades. When we would see each other, we would get up, we exchange numbers, we'll keep in contact for a little while. We'll do social events, like she'll have a little gathering at her house, invite me. I'll have a little celebratory event. Mostly it was birthdays that I was celebrating. I would have a little celebratory event and I would invite her out. She had not ever, ever, ever been to my house though. Alright, but okay. So this one particular time, there's a major event about to go on in my life. I know it's some major shit going on. It ain't for nobody else to know. So where I would usually have a big birthday bash, and then my birthday bash would be followed by a flight out the very next day to somewhere, some island somewhere. This particular year, I said, you know what, I got a lot of shit going on, so I'm going to keep my birthday celebration small. I invited people who I consider to be my sisters to my small birthday bash. Not all of them were able to show up, but eight invites, out of eight invites, five showed up. That was cool, you know. So the moral of the story is, she happened to be one of the invites. And now I've always made, for the most part, I feel like I've been in a good place in my life. But regarding her, I'm in a place where I say, well, I'm going to invite her because to me, when I invite you into my home, it says a lot about you. And so, as I stated before, I'm like, you know what? She never did nothing fucked up to me. I'm going to now invite her into my personal space. into my queendom, into my sanctuary, and I'm also inviting her into my sisterhood. I'm letting her see how me and my sisters operate together, celebrate together, how we are when we're together. And I'm just gonna let her get a whiff of that, and let her know that whatever the fuck she have been through, this is my heart speaking. Whatever the fuck she had been through, whatever the fuck she had been doing, that it's still some good black women out here supportive. We support each other. We do what we do, all in positivity and sincerity. So I invited her to the birthday gathering I had at my house. Long story short, she calls me every day after the event with some shit about her watch is missing. Now, regardless of the financial status of anyone that attended the party, because I'm going to say it was 6 of us there in total, 6 of us together, the 5 that came plus me in my home, 6 of us there together. So I'm not just going to implement the financial status, but let me just throw that in there for motherfuckers who might even try it. Every one of my sisters are well-established women. That's number 1. Including myself. That's number 2. Number 3, the chain of events that took place led up to the bottom line. The bitch was trying to extort me. The bitch was playing my kindness and took my kindness for weakness. The bitch disrespected me in my own home. Like, it's so much negativity associated with that event. It started out with we're having girl talk at the table. She took the spotlight. I don't think any of us was really worried about it while we were eating and drinking, because, we just considered it as general conversation. But not just then. During 80% of the night, she cried. The story was, woe is me. She was always somebody's victim. These were the things that was going on in her life, and it was going on not because of her, but because of everyone else that played a part in her story. It was something that was going on with them. That was the first fucking red flag, okay? So I'm like, damn, and different people, different sisters at the time was pulling me to the side or giving me this eye, because they're saying, like, we're here to, celebrate you. And it's just, she's putting a damper on things. Her mood is downtrodden. She's energy draining. You know what I'm saying? All right. So me and my little heart, it's like, okay, well, she probably been through some shit. I don't know why she feel the time is now to release it, but maybe she needs some type of healing, and maybe healing, what's helping her to heal right now is just getting it off her chest. Got to the point where now we like, what, let's turn on some music, let's dance, let's enjoy our girl time, whatever the case is. We cleaned up, everybody left and went home. That was the night. The next day, the day after that, she like, oh, I lost my watch. I lost my watch. No, excuse me. Not I lost my watch. My watch is missing. My watch is missing. My watch is missing. A 1980 something Gucci watch, right? Then she starts showing up on my Facebook pages, and because, I was like, okay, well, you know what? Let me look around the house and shit, and see if I can find it, because my impression is that I'm like, okay, well, maybe while we were dancing she probably dropped the shit somewhere, so let me do a thorough cleaning. You know how your house and your space, so I'm like, well, let me do a thorough cleaning. Maybe she dropped it and I just didn't see it. Did a thorough cleaning, didn't find the fucking watch. When I told her I didn't find it, the story changed to, you're responsible for my watch because you took it off. I left it in your house. So I'm like, took it off. Okay. So when we were all cleaning up before it was time for everyone to go, she went to the kitchen and started washing dishes. She asked me to take her watch off so that it wouldn't get wet. Mind you, her hands was already wet, already in the water, already washing dishes. She asked me to take her watch off so that wouldn't get wet. I took the watch off for her, put it on a counter next to her or behind her because my kitchen was very small. So there was only one counter next to the sink and there was another counter behind her that I set the microwave on. Anyway, I set it on a counter and kept going on, with my drink and talking shit while we did these little knick-knack things to finish cleaning up the space. Anyway, she tries to blame that on the misplacement of her watch. You took my watch off, so you had it, and you're responsible for it now since you took it off. And if you don't get me my watch, you have to pay me $890 or $950 or some shit like that. She was saying about her fucking watch. And it's sad now when I look at it. And here's how she tried to take my kindness for weakness. Number one, I actually entertained the idea. Like, damn, because my thought process was, damn, if we was at a club somewhere and she lost her watch at a club, I would be helping her try to get it back from the fucking club too, or from the owner, or I would try to assist with her because no one wants to lose something that they hold of value. Wow. And she did lose it in my house. So you know what? Let me tell her this. Let me see if I can assist her in replacing a watch. This is just in my good heart. Not because I'm guilty of anything, but because I put myself in her shoes and felt like, well, damn, you got to do the best you can. It's only right. Because anyone that you care about, not even yourself, don't want to lose anything of value. That was my thought process. So as I'm reaching out to different people to see if they can assist me, she keeps coming on my social media pages and texting me a bunch of disrespectful bullshit. I'm gonna have your wages garnished. You owe me for my watch, all of this other shit. So I'll get in contact with someone who is able to assist me with getting another watch. I can't go meet them. Now, mind you, my son is at work. My youngest son, I think he was at a family member's house. So I was home alone. I can't go out to meet them and see what's going on with this watch because now my fucking keys is missing. I noticed my keys is missing. My keys is not always where I put them. So when I reach out to her, she's like, oh yeah, I do have your keys. But I must have took them by accident while we was cleaning up. Huh? This is when my red light came on that, oh, this bitch is trying to extort me. Because at no time did you ever mention my keys before you started going off about that motherfucking watch. And even then, why didn't you say, let me bring you your keys? If the act wasn't malicious, you could have made arrangements to bring me my motherfucking keys. But she didn't do that. So my guess is she was trying to hold them, not necessarily for ransom, but to feel like she would come into my home when she wanted. This is my impression, that she would come into my home when she wanted and feel like she could do whatever she wanted to do, either her or either like get me set up. And I'm not saying that I have a boatload of money. I'm not saying that I'm rich, but what I'm saying is jealousy and envy is a motherfucker. And this was revealed to me. Motherfuckers during this time. Motherfuckers would be jealous of the way you operate. Motherfuckers would be jealous of the smile on your face. Motherfuckers would be mad because they feel like they going through some shit and you not. Motherfuckers would be mad at you and envious of you because you make it look easy. Because whatever it is you going through, you won't let it get you down. You won't let it keep you down. Motherfuckers would be mad at that. Motherfuckers would be mad because they'll see you in your light and be mad because they can't stand next to you in your light. They'll be mad because they can't get a little bit of shine. You hear what I'm telling you? Motherfuckers be mad at you for being you, the way people love you. Motherfuckers feel some type of way about that. So don't ever look at yourself and feel like you're at a certain level to where as though you can't relate. You can't um you're not like, don't ever look at yourself and belittle yourself in any type of way, because it's somebody always someone else looking at you, feeling some type of way about you being you. And I realized that with her. So, we had this bad energy. I got my locks changed, all of that other type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And I also believe in my heart that that bitch is a witch, and I'm going to tell you why. At no point did she ever get my keys back to me. Not none. But okay, or try to. Because maybe a week or two after that, I was um, having a family dinner, and my family came over for dinner, right? And I was making them to go plates. And when I went into the box to get the saran wrap and the aluminum foil, the watch that she was accusing me of was in the saran wrap and or the aluminum foil. Now, I took pictures of it. I called her immediately. She wouldn't answer, but at this time we were not on good terms and we were arguing. So the picture that I took of it, I sent it to her right away. Then she calls me back and she says, well, I'm coming from work. I'm going to take a Uber from the train station, or I'm going to take a Uber from work, something along those lines. I can't remember. And I'm going to come pick up the watch. So I knew right then and there, energy doesn't lie. First of all, she was lying. She was not coming from work. She was actually coming from home. And she still didn't bring my motherfucking keys. She tried to get a little bit argumentative. I wasn't having it. At that time, the damage was already done. You wasn't worth my time or energy to even have a conversation with. I was done after that. She comes out trying to tell me that I owe her an apology. That talking about me. I gave her that fucking watch, and I have not seen her yet to this date. Now, I got my locks changed because my children were in the home, but I wasn't worried about her using those fucking keys in any type of way, because at that time I had already had in motion to purchase my home. And that celebration of a birthday was also me departing from that residence. And it was a milestone in my life because it was so many lessons that I've learned that day. And so what I'm basically saying is, and then on top of that too, on top of that, I realized that because she was going around telling people, because they was asking me about it. She was running around telling people that I stole her fucking watch. So that's what made me make reference to my finances and my sister's finances in the very beginning of this story. See, motherfuckers cannot destroy your character when motherfucking people know who you are. And even if people don't know me to be like in the immediate contact with me, they know of me. Thievery ain't my shit. Lying ain't my motherfucking shit. Why the fuck do I need to steal anything from you that, number one, have no fucking value, and number two, you don't even have value as a motherfucking person, and then number three, it is not going to benefit me in any type of way or any, because see, not only am I a conscious person, not only am I a spiritual person, I am an overthinker. There is absolutely no way, shape, or form that stealing a watch would benefit me, let alone stealing it from you and then fucking up a friendship over a stolen watch. That's not my character. But she tried to destroy my character. She tried to break me down. She tried to cause me emotional and mental distress. And again, I kept asking myself, why? And this is where you begin to see more and more your value as an individual and how you can minimize your shine all you want, but there's somebody else always looking at you, knowing that your value is just as high as you know it is, but they hoping that you don't know your value, because now they want to play on you minimizing yourself. Baby, when you know who you are, you know who the fuck you are. And as my instructor used to say when I was in the academy, you know what you know. And when you know what you know, people can't take that from you. So anyone and everyone who has either tried to destroy my character in some type of way, I have no interest in revisiting those situations or relationships with them in any way. Those people who could not, would not, or did not reciprocate my energy, I have no interest in revisiting those situations or relationships, because in order for me to continue to elevate as a person, I need I need to get out what I put in at the minimum. You understand? Remember when we used to shoot dice back in the days, they used to say scared money don't make no money. You know what I'm saying? So you put a certain amount of money in, and at the least, when you leave in a dice game, at the least you want to be able to break even.